What are we going to learn in income from other sources? Let us see. Okay. So first, let us learn about the meaning of income from other sources. What is income from other sources? The meaning, the name itself tells you what is income from other sources. So let us see here. The meaning says, the first thing is income is not chargeable to tax under any head. Then we take it under income from other sources. Now, what is not chargeable under any other head? So let us see first one. For example, one more request from my side. Anytime I might log out suddenly because my internet connections are down here. So if I log out, I will log in again and then I'll continue from wherever I have stopped it. Okay, right. So now let us move ahead. So income from other sources. What is income from other sources? First, before understanding what is income from other sources, we should see what is income is divided into under income tax. Income tax is broadly income is classified under income tax broadly into 5 heads. That is income from salary, income from house property, income from business or profession, capital gain, and income from other sources. Okay, so looking at these things, so there are 5 heads. Let me repeat. Income, under income tax there are 5 heads. One is income from salary, income from house property, income from business or profession, capital gain, and income from other sources. So the 5th head is income from other sources. So the name itself tells you that is any income which you have received is not taxable under salary. So that means, for example, you receive interest from your bank deposits. Let us take it simple words. You receive interest from your bank deposit. Okay, so income from bank deposit cannot be a salary, okay, because it is interest. It cannot be house property because you are not receiving income from house property as a rent, so it is not a rent. Next, interest, it is not earned through business or profession. Next one is it is not earned through selling any asset. It is interest on deposit, so you did not sell any asset to get this interest. So the last head left out is income from other sources. So interest, income from bank account shall be chargeable only under the head income from other sources, because it is not a salary, because it is not a rent, because it is not a capital gain, because it is not selling off any other asset. So it comes under income from other sources. So income not chargeable under any other head shall be taxable under this head. That is what it is called as income from other sources. Okay. Next, I want you to answer this question by chat. Through a chat you can send me the message. Income is broadly categorized as, in income tax, how do we divide the income? So we divide the income as income from 2 heads, or income from 5 heads, income from 4 heads, or income from 1 head. So what is the answer? Income is broadly categorized as what? Whether it is income from 2 heads, or income from 5 heads, income from 4 heads, or income from 1 head. So answer is, somebody is told, Mayur has already answered B, very good. Jane has told yes. Jane has told yes. 5 heads, very good. So yes, everyone, I think so, now, under Income Tax Act, income is broadly classified into 5 heads of income. So that is income from salary, income from house property, income from house property, income from business or profession, capital gain, income from other sources. So right, so we got to know now there are 5 heads of income under income tax. Now in this 5 heads, if income does not fall under any other 4 heads, then that income will come under the 5th head. Okay, so let us move ahead. So chargeability under section 56 subsection 2, which are all taxable under income from other sources. First one is dividends. Dividend shall be taxable other than Indian company. If you receive it from Indian company, remember Indian company here refers to the company is registered in India. Okay, so the registration has happened in India, so it becomes a domestic company. So dividend received from Indian company is not taxable under income from other sources. It gets exempted, but 2020-21 it gets taxable. But right now for our syllabus, dividend shall be exempted. So from 2020-21, it shall be taxable. If you receive dividend more than 5,000 rupees, there's a TDS. If the dividend is less than 5,000, there's no TDS, but the assessee has to pay tax. So right now we are looking at 1920. Okay, so dividend other than Indian company shall be taxable. Let us say foreign company. So income received from foreign company or dividend received from foreign company shall be taxable under this head. Income by way of interest on securities. Securities here refers to bonds and debentures. So bonds and debentures, if you buy listed securities or unlisted securities, that is bonds which are listed, debentures which are not listed. If you receive any interest, then that interest will also be taxable under income from other sources. Next, income from letting out of any assets or asset. So if you let out any asset, but it should not be your business asset. Like for example, tent house. If you take a tent house, whatever under tent house they let out the income, the assets, whatever the income they earn, it is taxable under business. If you don't do any business such as tent house business, but still you are letting out some business, then it shall be taxable under income from other sources if you receive any rent. Casual income. Casual income refers to winning from any lottery, crossword puzzle, card game, TV game show, horse race, betting, etc. Similar nature. So that shall be taxable under income from other sources. Now, income by way of royalty and director fees. So if you have royalty, then it shall be taxable under income from other sources. If you have a director, it shall also be taxable under income from other sources. Examination remuneration or examination fees received by a non-employer. For example, if I go and evaluate a paper in Bangalore University, my employer is Jain Evening College. If I go and if I evaluate answer scripts of Bangalore University, the Bangalore University will pay me some fees or some remuneration that shall be taxable under income from other sources, but not under salary. Why? Because my employer is Jain Evening College, not Bangalore University. So in examination fees received by non-employer shall be taxable under other sources. Next, stipend to article clerk. Many of you are already working with employed with CH Chartered Accountants. So when you receive, it shall be taxable under income from other sources if it goes beyond the limit, the threshold limit. Next, chargeability continued. Okay, chargeability continued. Interest on bank deposits. Assume it is a fixed deposit. If it exceeds 10,000, if it is a fixed deposit, it's not savings bank account. Savings bank account, anyway, it is taxable. We are not worried about whether it is exceeding 5,000 or 10,000. Interest on bank deposits, if it exceeds 10,000 rupees, then there will be a TDS. But if it does not exceed 10,000 rupees, still it is taxable under income from other sources. If it exceeds 10,000, there will be a TDS. I will come back to the TDS concept. Okay. So interest received, you give a loan to your relatives, but you receive an interest on that loan. That loan also shall be taxable under income from other sources, since it is not your business. You are not a pawn broker. If you are a pawn broker, a pawn shop, then it shall be taxable under business. Since you have given just a loan to your friend and relative, you are receiving interest on that. That shall also be taxable under other sources. Next, bank overdraft. If you receive any interest on overdraft, then that is also taxable under income from other sources. Next, agricultural income from outside India. If you receive agricultural income from outside India, that is foreign agricultural income, that shall also be taxable under income from other sources. Next, commission for an insurance transaction. You are an insurance agent, and then you help the people to take the insurance policies. You are a middleman in between the company and the policy buyer. So you receive a commission from the company. This shall also be taxable under income from other sources. Next, salary payable to MLA, MLC, and MP. So if you are an MLA or MLC or MP, or if they receive salary, that shall be taxable. Allowances is exempted. MLA's allowance, MLC's allowance, and MP's allowance shall be exempted. But if they receive salary, that shall be taxable. Next, family pension received by a member of the deceased employee. So if the on the bread earner, after the death of bread earner, if the family members receives the pension, then maximum deduction is 15,000 rupees, or 1/3 of the pension received, whichever is least, shall be exempted. Remaining shall be taxable. So interest received on own contribution to unrecognized provident fund, we have studied it the last semester. There are 4 variations in the provident fund. One is recognized provident fund, one is statutory provident fund, and one is public provident fund, and the last one is unrecognized provident fund. If any interest is received on unrecognized provident fund, then it shall be taxable under income from other sources with on the own contribution. Income from undisclosed source of income. So the tax comes on a raid. Tax people comes on a raid. When they come on a raid, they find some cash in your home, and then you are unable to explain the source. So this income shall be taxable under income from other sources, because if I have a cash, I will never disclose it to anybody. On a raid, on search and seizure, if the income tax authorities found any cash in the home and we are unable to explain the sources of it, then such income shall be taxable under income from other sources. Okay. Next, cash or kind gift received from non-relatives exceeding rupees 50,000. Remember, it is non-relatives. It is not non-relative. Non-relative exceeding 50,000 is also taxable. Non-relatives put together 50,000 is also taxable. So let us say Mr. X gives you 10,000. Mr. Y, a friend, gives you 20,000. Mr. Z, a cousin, gives you 40,000. So put together, it is more than 10 plus 10 plus 40, which comes up to 60,000, which is more than 50,000. They are not relatives, so it shall be taxable under other sources. So non-relatives. If I receive gift from relatives, yes, it is exempted. Okay. So kind gift, remember, which are all the kind gift? Artifacts. That is drawings, paintings, archaeological collection, okay, and antique piece. So in these cases, if you receive any any kind in these kinds, that is drawings, paintings, archaeological collections, okay, if you receive any such gold, again gold, silver, diamond, including this, if you receive, again, properties also, movable assets and immobile. Immobile is properties, land and building. If you receive as a gift, these gifts, if it exceeds 50,000, the value of it exceeds 50,000, then it shall be taxable under income from other sources. Okay. Next, any doubt, you can put a chart across. Okay. Otherwise, I think that you don't have any doubt. I'll move ahead. Next, further moving on to, we discussed gift received from non-relatives exceeding 50,000 shall be taxable, and we discussed gift from relatives shall be taxable. Okay, gift from relatives is not taxable. Gift from non-relatives shall be taxable. Now, gift from relatives. Who are relatives? Let us discuss who are relatives. Okay. Who are relatives? Let us discuss about who are relatives. Now, relatives means spouse, okay, of the individual, brother or sister of the individual. Here, individual refers to person who is paying the tax. Brother or sister of spouse of the individual, brother or sister of either parents of the individual, any lineal ascendant or descendant of the individual, any lineal ascendant or descendant of the spouse of the individual. So, who are relative? Spouse of the individual. Make a note of this if you have pen and paper. Otherwise, you can even download from the link provided to you. Spouse of the individual. Okay. So, spouse of the individual means, individual person who pays tax, spouse, wife or husband. Okay. If he or she gives it to the individual, it shall be termed as relative. So, exempted. Brother or sister of the individual. So, if the individual, brother or sister of the individual, that is, if you are associate, your brother or your sister, not cousin. Please remember, don't get carried away by cousins. Cousins are not included here. Next, brother or sister of spouse of the individual. So, individual, brother or sister of the spouse, that is your wife's brother or sister. or your spouse, brother or sister, if he gives gift, kind of cash shall be exempted, even if it is exceeding 50,000 rupees. Any amount from 50,000 to any amount. Next, in brother or sister of either parents of the individual. So brother or sister of either parents of the individual, either parents, your maternal uncle or paternal uncle, maternal aunt or paternal aunt, not aunt and uncle. Remember, maternal uncle, paternal uncle, maternal aunt, paternal aunt. Okay, so brother and sister of either parents of the individual, if they give any cash, any amount of cash or any in kind, any value, it shall be exempted. But provided there should be a gift deed, they have to write a deed. Just giving will not help you any exemption from paying tax. If they have to give you with a deed, they have to give you a deed stating that I am gifting so and so amount to so and so person. The registered gift would be better for you. So any lineal ascendant or descendant of the individual. So any lineal refers to falling in a line. Any lineal ascendant descendant of the individual, that is your father, your grandfather, your great grandfather, or your son, your grandson. If they give you a gift, it shall be exempted. Any lineal ascendant or descendant of the spouse of the individual. So that means your spouse, father, grandfather, great grandfather, your spouse, son, and grandson giving you the gift shall be exempted. Now we may feel funny. Any lineal ascendant or descendant of the individual, any lineal ascendant or descendant of the individual. That means my son and my wife, my spouse son is the same. No. Some cases it will not be. For example, if he is a let us say, for example, in case of what do you call it as adopted son, or you might let us say, for example, an individual who's marrying for the second time. Okay, the spouse is already has a baby. Then what happens? Okay, so any lineal ascendant or descendant of the spouse of the individual, in those cases it shall be applicable in those cases. So that is what it is telling about here. Okay, right. Further moving upon. Okay, income from other sources. TDS, tax deducted at source. This is very important point in under income from other sources. So under income from other sources, we have 3 to 4 category of TDS, tax deducted at source. That means the person who pays the tax will deduct, and he will pay. He will pay the remaining amount. First one is casual income. Remember casual income. So casual income is, again, what is casual income? The tax shall be deducted at source only if winning from lottery, crossword puzzle, card game, or TV game shows exceeds rupees 10,000. Otherwise, we need to pay. If it does not exceed 10,000 rupees, they won't deduct. For example, I go to Beswangudi Club and I play a card game. I win rupees 2,000 rupees. Will they deduct TDS? No, they won't deduct. They give me my 2,000 rupees winnings, but I have to come and pay tax 30% on 2,000 rupees. Here, if my winnings is more than 10,000 rupees, I go to Kaun Banega Crorepati, I win more than 10,000 rupees, or I go to Sarigamapa and then I win the cash prize of 20,000 rupees. Now this 20,000 rupees, after reducing 30% from it, they will pay me. That is TDS. They don't pay me 20,000. They pay me 20,000 minus 30%. So in case of race, horse race, if I go to race course and if I play, if I bet on a horse and if I win, if the winning is more than 5,000 rupees, then they deduct the TDS and the remaining amount will be paid to me. Now, remember, in the examination, problems will be given on the basis of net. We need to find the gross amount. So how do we find the gross amount? Net income into 100. So net winnings, whatever the net winnings you receive after 10,000 rupees and after 5,000 rupees in this case. Okay. So net income into 100, 100 minus 30. Less tax free. Next one is less tax free or less tax commercial securities. It might be listed debentures or unlisted debentures, listed bonds or unlisted bonds. In this case, what happens? It is a tax free. For example, NHAI bond. NHAI bond has a tax free debentures they issue. In those cases, when you receive it as a tax free, you will receive always a gross amount. So TDS rate is 10%. They deduct whatever the interest they pay, they deduct 10% and the remaining amount is paid to you. So whatever you receive is a net interest. So net income into 100, 100 minus 10. Next, what is the next further TDS? Continued interest on bank deposits exceeds rupees 10,000. And savings bank account. Remember, savings bank account does not, we don't worry about savings bank account. Savings bank account is always interest shall be taxable, no TDS shall be deducted. Please remember, make a note in your book. If you are having there only any book or any sheet next to you, please make a note. Savings bank account shall not subject to TDS. Only bank deposits, fixed deposits shall be subject, or cumulative deposit shall be subject to TDS if it exceeds, the interest exceeds 10,000 rupees. So what is the TDS rate? 10%. Income tax is taxable under slab rate. So TDS is 10%. Gross interest, net income into 100 divided by 100 minus 10. That would be the gross interest. Let us see how these things works when I take up a problem in a short span of time. Insurance commission, if you are an insurance agent and if you receive from LIC or ICICI or any other insurance companies, if the insurance commission exceeds 10,000, then there's a TDS. If the insurance commission does not exceed 50,000, then there's no TDS. So income tax shall be chargeable at slab rate, commission shall be chargeable at slab rate, but TDS rate is 5%. Gross interest, net commission, okay, into 100 divided by 100 minus 5 will give you the gross insurance commission. Okay, this is very important for examination point of view. Okay, let us further move on. Okay, you answer me this. Taxable gift includes cash and kind gift received from relative, cash and kind gift received from relatives exceeding rupees 50,000, cash and kind gift received from non-relatives up to rupees 50,000, none of these. So please answer. I'm waiting for your answer on this chat. Okay, Mayur says, Ashwini says all. Ashwini M says all. Okay, all is not there. All is not there for this. Mayur says C. Okay, what is this? Okay, Sumuk Murthy says C. Janaki says D. Actually, answer is D. Taxable gift includes cash and kind gift received from relatives. No, relatives, any gift received from relatives, cash or kind, it is exempted. So cash or kind gift received from relatives is exempted. Cash and kind gift received from relatives exceeding to 50,000, exempted. Cash or kind gift received from relatives up to rupees 50,000, non-relatives, sorry, from non-relatives up to rupees 50,000 is exempted. So A is exempted, B is exempted, C is exempted. Only answer left out is D. So taxable gift includes, nothing is here. Okay. So continuation, we'll move ahead. So let us start the problems. All of you okay with it? All of you okay with it? Any doubt? You can ask me. I'll move ahead with the problems now. Okay. Any doubt? Yeah. So, yeah, any doubt? Have you understood the concept? Please answer via chat. Or you can raise the hand. If you raise the hand, I will release that person audio. I will release that person audio if you raise the hand. Anyone has a doubt? As of now, whatever I have discussed, you have not understood something? Nobody has any problem? Okay. I'll move ahead with any doubt, you can raise the hand. Otherwise, I will move ahead with the problems and solution with the Excel sheet. Okay. Let me move ahead with the Excel sheet. Okay, I think all of you have got the downloaded the link for what has been given to you. We have given a link. Do you remember the link? Guys, did you download? Yeah, I have unmuted everyone. Any doubt? Okay. Right. So I'll go ahead with the problems and solution now. So let me go ahead with the problems and solution now. So problem number 1 in the PDF document which I've circulated to you, page number 5. You can look at problem number 1, page number 5. So I think you're able to view my, view this Excel sheet. Guys, can you able to view my Excel sheet? Yeah. Can you able to view my Excel sheet, guys? Yes, sir, we can. Okay, right. So let me go ahead with that. So problem on income from other sources, page number 5. You can go to the link. You can download the PDF. That PDF document has page number 5 has this. Okay, so page number 1 to 4 has all my PPTs. So problem number 5, what does it say? From the following particulars, page number 5, problem number 1. From the following particulars of Mr. Raju, compute taxable gift chargeable under income from other sources. Okay, let us move ahead. First one, he received a check. It's a gift now, taxable gift. We have to go ahead with a taxable gift. We have to find out with taxable gift. So now he received a check of rupees 1,000 as a gift from his grandfather. I've already written the answer here. So let me unhide this answer. Sorry, let me hide this answer. So then we will come back with the, unhiding that answer. He received a check of 1 lakh as a gift from his grandfather. We have just now learned grandfather, any lineal ascendant descendant, any cash gift or kind gift received from any lineal ascendant or descendant shall be exempted. So grandfather falls under the linear category of the gift, so it shall be exempted. Second one, he received rupees 21,000 from his friend from Canada as a gift. So gift received from non-relative. So friend is a non-relative. So 21,000 rupees, but it is less than 50,000. Let us have a star mark on this. Let us keep a star mark on this. Let us keep a star mark. Let us find out whether it shall be taxable or not, because he is a non-relative. Okay. So let me make some other color to understand. He received rupees 5 lakh under a will from his grandmother. Again, grandmother falls under line. Okay. Any lineal ascendant, descendant, any gift received from a lineal, any gift received from lineal ascendant or descendant. So again, this shall also be exempted. Okay, grandmother. So yeah, sorry. Yeah. Next one, he received rupees 50,000 from his father's friend. Father's friend. No, father's brother and sister, not cousin. Not cousin sister is not allowed. So father's friend. Yes, father's friend can be taken as taxable. Okay, father's friend, so shall be taxable. Okay, can you able to view my yeah, okay, right. Now can you able to see my Excel, right? I have some problem here. Yeah. Now next one. Right. So he received a rupees 75,000. So this also will put a star mark. Father's friend, because father's friend is not termed as relative. Next, he received rupees 75,000 as a gift from his uncle on 30th September. Now, uncle, they have not mentioned whether it is a paternal uncle or a maternal uncle. Since they have not mentioned paternal uncle or maternal uncle, it is a second line category. That means your father's cousin will become an uncle to you. So it shall be again taxable. Why? Because it is not falling under the list of relative. So list of relative, remember, it does not fall. Why? Because they have not mentioned whether it is a paternal uncle or maternal uncle. Can I assume? You can't assume. You can't assume in this category when it is given in the exam. You can't assume. You have to go by the word. So uncle here refers to non-relative. Okay. So straight answer you have to give. Okay. He received rupees 20,000 as a gift from his employer on 1st October. Gift received from employer. Remember, gift received from employer does not fall under income from other sources. Why it does not fall under income from other sources? Because employer, there is a relationship. What is the relationship? That is master and servant relationship. When employer comes into, there is a relationship between employer and employee, that is master and servant. Since there is a relationship exists, master and servant, it goes to salary. So it does not fall under income from other sources. So remember, this gift from employer shall be taxable under the head salary, not under the head income from other sources. Now, if it is a kind gift, in case of kind gift from employer up to 5,000 rupees, it is exempted under the head salary. If it is a cash gift from the employer, fully taxable. Sir, on the occasion of marriage, any relative or non-relative, fully exempted. Anybody, it is exempted. Okay. On the occasion of marriage, relative or non-relative. Next, what else, sir? By the will of a person. If at a will of a person, anybody writes the property or the cash, then also it shall be exempted. So other than that, everything shall be taxable. Now, he received a gift of 15,000 from his father's brother. See, they have given here. So paternal uncle or maternal uncle, they have given here paternal uncle, father's brother. So it shall be exempted. Okay. So I assume that you have understood my explanation. Let me unhide what answer I had written earlier. So he received a check of 1 lakh from his grandfather, exempted under section 56. Next, he received rupees 21,000 from a friend from a Canada, taxable with a star mark. Why? If you receive from a non-relatives, total gift should exceed 50,000 from non-relatives. So relative, non-relative A, non-relative B, non-relative C, non-relative D, put together, it should be more than 50,000. If it is less than 50,000, it shall not be taxable. It shall be exempted. Okay, in any financial year. So he received 50,000 under a will of grandmother, again exempted. We told he falls under any lineal ascendant descendant. He received rupees 50,000 from his father's friend. Father's friend, it shall be taxable. Why? Because he is a non-relative. He received rupees 75,000 as a gift from his uncle. Again, it is taxable because it is uncle. I told you uncle means we don't assume it as maternal or paternal uncle. We say it is father's cousin or mother's cousin, so it shall be taxable. Mother's cousin, father cousin are not considered to be relatives. Next, he received rupees 20,000 as a gift from his employer, so it shall come under salary, so it shall be taxable under the head salary. Now he received as a gift received gift of 51,000 from his father's brother, it shall be exempted. Why? Relative. Let us solve this problem. Can you able to solve this problem? All of you, shall we start solving it? You can take one paper and pen. You can start working with me. So received a check as a gift from his grandfather. It shall be exempted. I will write it as 0 here. Okay. So why? Because you have to write exempted in the final exam. Don't write 0. Don't write dash mark arco in the final exam, because I'm doing it in Excel. If I put exempted, the totaling will become a problem. In the totaling, it says mathematical error. So I'm not writing exempted. In the final exam, please do mention exempted here. So statement showing income from other sources. Mr. Raju is the assessee. Yes, Mr. Raju is the assessee. And assessment year and financial year. We are doing it for financial year 18-19 and assessment year 19-20. So first one will be exempted. Second one, received cash gift from his friend. Friend, let us write down what is from friend. It is 21,000 rupees. Star mark is there. So let us write down 21,000 rupees star mark. Okay. So let us see whether it comes up to 50,000 or not. Received 5 lakh under a will from his grandmother. So grandmother, it is exempted. So I'm writing 0 here. Please make a note. You have to write exempted in the final exam, but do not write 0 or do not write nil. Okay. So you are supposed to write exempted here in the final exam. Okay. For only calculation purpose, Excel sheet purpose, I'm using 0 here. Okay. Received rupees 50,000 from his father's friend. Father's friend. How much it is that? 50,000. So let us write down 50,000. Okay. So there's a star mark again. So let us write down 50,000. Let us write down 50,000. Okay. Next, received rupees 75,000 as a gift from his uncle. Uncle, we told uncle means it should be paternal or maternal. Just uncle will not give us any, clue. So it shall be taxable. So next one, received 20,000 from gift employer. So it shall not be taxable here. So I'm not taking it here. Okay, it shall be taxable under the head salary. So you have to write a note here. Okay. So you have to write a note here. Okay. What is the note? Note. Okay. So what do you write? Taxable under taxable under salary. Okay. Taxable under the head, you can write under the head. Sorry. Under the head salary. Okay. So this is what we have to write note as. Okay. So note, you can make it bold also. Okay. So right. So it is nil. Next, we can even mark the note number if you want. So if I'm changing it as, for example, note number one here. Okay. I can make it as note number 1. So here I can mark it as note number 1. C note. Okay. CWN1. We can say like this in the answer sheet in the final exam. Okay. C working note 1. So right. So you'll not be able to see here. Why? Because yeah, now you'll be able to see. Next, received a gift 51,000 from his father's brother. Father's brother, yes, it is exempted. We just studied here. So now let us see, is this crossing 50,000? Is this crossing 50,000? Okay, let us sum it up. Let us sum it up. Is this crossing 50,000? Yes, it is 1,46,000. So taxable gift would be 1,46,000. Any doubt here, guys? Any doubt? Any doubt? You can raise the hand. So please raise the hand on the chat box. I will definitely answer your questions. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can raise the hand also. Otherwise, I assume you have understood. Okay. So this is the first case. So taxable gift would be 1,46,000. Why 21,000 rupees is taxable? Because it is from friend put together. Remember, sir, 50,000 less than 50,000. You cannot see in case of cash gift. In case of kind, it is individual. Remember, there's one more point. In case if you receive kind gift, it is individual. You have to check whether it is more than 50,000 or less than 50,000. More than 50,000, less than 50,000. More than 50,000, less than 50,000. It is a cash gift. All these are cash gift. Since it is cash gift, since the cash gift is more than 50,000, it shall be taxable. So Ankit Jain has a doubt. Okay. Ankit Jain has a doubt. Okay. Let us go with Ankit Jain. Ankit Jain. Yes, Ankit Jain, you can answer. Yes, you can ask me the question. Yeah.
Yes, good evening, sir. Ankita here.
Ankita, sorry. Ankita Jain. Yes, tell me, Ankita.
Yes, for the other entries, you have told to write exempted.
Yeah.
For the F entry, received rupees 20,000 as a gift from his employer.
Yeah.
So that should be written as exempted or salary.
No, it should be taxable under salary. It's not exempted here. I have just written it as C here. C working note 1. Can you able to see this? What I am making it bold. C working note 1. So working note 1, I am writing received 20,000 as a gift from his employer on 1st October 2018 shall be taxable on the head salary. It shall be taxable under head salary. I'm not dealing here. I'm going to calculate taxability under salary when I'm preparing form 16. Not here.
Yes, but you have told to write exempted in other entries, right? So what should we write? We should write as exempted or salary?
Yes. You have to write it as here. You have to write it as exempted. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, exempted. Here you have to write exempted. Okay. EX refers to exempted. Okay. Exempted.
Yes.
In the final exam, you write exempted for all these things. This is not exempted. Okay. So you can, instead of, if you don't want to write the note, you can write here only taxable under salary.
Okay, sir.
Okay. You got it now? Okay. You can write.
Yes,
okay. Yes, you can directly write here.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So let me go ahead with now next further second problem. So you can download the PDF link if you have the problem. Same I'm following with page number 5, problem number 2. It's come as problem number 1, problem number 2. You make it as problem number 2. Okay. Let us move ahead. Let me first hide these answers which I've already done. So okay. Any other person has a doubt? I assume only Ankita Jain has a doubt and everyone are clear. Yeah. Yes. Ankita, still you have a doubt or clear? Okay. Right. So V Shruti has the following investments and incomes in the previous year ended on 31st March 2019. Calculate her income from other sources. Let us move ahead with this. What does it say? Dividend from a company 7,800, examiner remuneration 2,000, royalty from the publication of book 48,000, winning from lottery received on 1/3/2000. They have given net amount. This has to be noted very carefully. Okay, net amount. Okay, received on 1/3/2019 before 31st March. Okay, 35,000 rupees 40,000, 10% debentures. It is not tax free. Remember, it's not tax free debentures. Okay, 40,000, 12%. Yes, tax free Punjab government securities. Okay, rupees 50,000, 13% less tax commercial securities. Okay, let us move ahead with this. Let us solve this problem. Let us try to solve this problem. Okay, so now dividend from a company. Dividend from a company 7,800. 7,800. It shall be taxable or exempted. What it would be? It would be exempted. Why? They have not mentioned which company. So in the examination problem, remember, in reality we will know, because I will know from which company I have received. If I have received dividend from Cipla, yes, I would have known, because few days before only I received dividend from Cipla company. So I know, okay, Cipla is registered in India, so it's a domestic company, exempted. Okay, so dividend from company, since in the problem they have not mentioned which company or company they have mentioned, since it's a company or company, I assume it as domestic company, so exempted. If they mention instead of that Sony India Private Limited, still I assume it as Indian company, because Sony India. Okay, so remember, Sony India means they have a separate registration in India. Now, if they have mentioned Sony Incorporation Private Limited 7,800, then I say yes, foreign company, taxable. Okay, so dividend from a foreign company, yes, taxable. Why? Because they don't pay CDT or DDT, dividend distribution tax. For that purpose, it is taxable. So examinership remuneration 2,000. So examinership remuneration, here you have to understand, it is received from a non-employer, so it shall be taxable. Okay, so this is exempted, this is taxable. Okay, next, royalty from publication of books. Yes, royalty is taxable, but if you have any expenditure, that can be claimed. Winning from lottery, it's a net amount. Again, there is a star mark we have to put. Okay, so net amount, since net amount means we have to always mention it as gross income. Why? Because we are finding still gross total income. Remember GTI. What is gross total income? Income from 5 heads. GTI refers to income from 5 heads, income from salary, income from house property, income from business or profession, income from capital gain, and income from other sources. Put together, it is called as GTI. So this should be a gross income. So this should be a gross. Okay, so you cannot show net income. You have to show first gross, then you can claim the TDS. When you pay the tax, you will deduct it, and then remaining amount you will pay. Next, 40,000. 40,000, 10% debentures of a company. It's not a tax free, so it's a gross amount. Directly you can take 40,000 into 10%. Next, 40,000, 12% tax-free Punjab government. Remember, in case of tax-free government securities, it is always a gross amount. Remember, that is very important. Star mark. Remember, if you receive from government agencies on tax-free debentures or tax-free bonds, it shall be always a gross. It is not a net amount. You will never receive net amount from governments. Only from non-government agencies you receive net amount if it is tax-free. Okay, that you have to remember. Okay, if you require more classes on the remaining chapters, we will see. Okay, right now let us understand this. 50,000, 13% less tax commercial securities. Again, commercial means private securities is a less tax. Since they have given what is the amount invested and the rate of interest, so it's a gross amount. Means what? I'm unable to understand what you're telling. You're telling me 50,000 amount invested. Yes. 13% is the interest received. So you say gross. Yes, for that purpose only. But for example, if they say like that, for example, 1,000 receive interest, let us say interest on, let us say less tax on less tax securities. Let us say this is given 1,000 interest on less tax. Then what you treat it as? You treat it as net. That's what the guidelines given by income tax authorities. If they, in case of commercial securities, if you don't have any information, because if I'm an individual, if I would have received it, I will know whether it is a gross or net amount. Since in the examination, you will not be able to ask that person because it's all notional. So it becomes very difficult for us. So in case if it is a less tax commercial securities, if they give only interest, remember, only interest amount, then you take it as net and then you have to convert it into gross. Otherwise, if they give like this point G, it is a gross amount. Any doubt on this, guys? If you have doubt, you can write on the chat box. I would try to answer your question. So we have understood now. Let me open my answer. What I have answered it. Let me unhide my answer. See, same thing. Okay. So dividend exempted, assuming that Indian company. Examinership, yes, taxable. What is the star mark? Assuming that it is received from non-employer. Okay. So royalty from publication of books, exempted. How it is exempted? No, it's not. Sorry, there's a mistake from my side. See. Okay. Taxable. Okay. So it's taxable. Next. What about this? Winning from lottery, net amount, yes, taxable. What is this? A net. We have to make it gross. Remember, taxable, it is a net, but I have to convert it into, how do you say net? Because winning from lottery, remember, we learned on the TDS, okay, that in case of winning from lottery, crossword puzzle, card game, TV game show, if the winning exceeds 10,000 rupees, it is the net amount we receive, not a gross amount. So since it's a net amount, 35,000, so we have to gross it up and then we have to find it out. So this is debentures of a company, taxable, okay, assuming that it is not a tax-free. Okay, assuming means they have not given it. Okay, so tax-free debentures, yes, taxable. It's always a gross. Remember why? Because of government securities. Okay, next, what is this? 50,000, 13% plus tax commercial securities. It is exempted. Why it is exempted? No, it is also not exempted. Sorry, it is also taxable. Taxable. Okay. So shall we solve this problem? So dividend from Indian company, it is exempted. I'll write here as exempted. Okay. Here I'll write it as 0 because for totaling purpose. Okay. So you can write this exempted here itself. Okay. Exempted. Or I'll do one thing. I'll write it as exempted here only. Examinership remuneration, 2,000 rupees shall be taxable. Okay. Let me reduce the zeros so that you may get confused. Royalty from publication of books, yes, it is taxable, 48,000. But do you have any expenditure on that? You don't have any expenditure on that, so nil. So no expenditure on that to earn a royalty. So amount would be 48,000. Winning from salary, winning from lottery, it's a net 35,000. I have to make it gross. How do I make it gross? Net winnings, 35,000 is the net winnings. Okay, 1 minute. Net winnings. Okay, 35,000 is the net winnings. Okay, into 100. That's what given in the formula. Net winnings into 100. Okay, divided by how much? 100 minus 30. The rate is 30. Okay, so 50,000 is the gross winnings. Okay, so you want the formula? You can see the formula here. You can see the formula here. You want the formula to be posted here? Yes, I will put the formula here. So you can note this formula if you want. Okay. Next, 40,000, 10% debentures of a company. As usual, you take. So 40,000 into 10%. That would be how much? 4,000. Right. Next, 40,000 into 12%. So 40,000 into 12%. Okay. So that will give me 4,800 rupees. Okay. Next, tax-free commercial security. This you should not gross it up. Remember, it's always you should take gross amount. This is always a gross amount because it is issued from government agency. Next, 50,000 into 13%. Okay. So 50,000 into 13%. Okay. So 6,500. So now let us see how much is taxable. Okay. Sum of, okay. So 1,15,300 would be taxable income from other sources. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt, guys? Any doubt? No doubt? Yeah. So next problem, we'll move ahead with problem number 3. One more problem is left. Okay. So problem number 3, page number 5 and 6, you can look into in that PDF. So compute income from other sources for the given below. Interest on deposits with the company, you should know now, it is taxable. University remuneration for working as an examiner. Okay, Anne is missing, as an examiner. Okay, so you know, as soon as you say examination remuneration, we think that it is received from non-employer. So royalty for writing book 60,000 and claims spent rupees 20,000. So there's an expense, yes, taxable after 60 minus 20. Dividend declared but received on but paid on 1/5. No, declared on 1/3/2018 but received on 1/5, yeah, 1/5/2018, then this would be correct. So it shall not be taxable, exempted. Okay, it shall be exempted. Why? Dividend declared. Dividend, which company? So we assume it as domestic company. Next, interim dividend. Interim dividend also same thing. They have not mentioned foreign company. If it was a foreign company, taxable. Otherwise, it is exempted. Winning from race horses, 1,50,000. Horse are maintained by him. Remember, if you maintain the race horse, if you own and maintain the race horse, okay, 1,50,000. If it is a gross amount, 1,50,000 minus 2,40,000. Now winning from, there again winnings from. Winning from means it is a net amount. Why? More than 5,000 rupees. If you win from race horse, it shall be TDS. It shall be applicable. 30% TDS shall be applicable. So taxable, but it is a net amount. We have to convert it into gross. Okay. Next, family pension. There is a deduction for family pension. Let us look into how do we solve this problem. Okay, so interest on deposits with a company, 10,000 rupees shall be taxable. Okay. Next, university remuneration for working examination. Yes, it shall be taxable, 6,000 rupees because it is received from non-employer. Next, royalty for working books. Yes, royalty 60,000 shall be taxable, but you have to claim in expenditure of 20,000. So 20,000 is the expenditure. So the remaining amount would be, okay, 40,000. Dividend received and declared and received, exempted. Okay, so I'm writing it as 0. Here you can write in the final exam. Here you can write exempted because for calculation purpose, it will make me, you know, this is also exempted because I'm taking it as, you know, winning from race horse. So we have to gross it up because they have not given whether it is a gross or net. So if they don't give you, it is always received. Okay, 1. If they give you 1, it's a gross amount. If they give you winnings, it's a net amount. Okay, remember 1 is a gross, winnings is a net amount. So 1,50,000. What should we do? 1,50,000. You have to gross it up, right? 1,50,000 into 100. I've taken it as 15,000. Sorry, 1,50,000 into 100 divided by 100 minus 30. Okay. This is the amount actually won. Okay, minus 2,40,000 expenditure. So 2,40,000. Let us go with 2,40,000. Okay. So 2,40,000. Now what shall we do? Now there's a loss. Let me insert one more row. So there's a loss. What is the loss? Loss would be 2,40,000 minus this. So loss would be 25,000. This loss will be carry forward. Yesterday we learned from Sharma sir how to carry forward this. So carry forward loss. Loss to next assessment year or next financial year. Next financial year, if you have winnings, you can claim this 25,714.29 paisa, round it off to 720. Okay, so 25,000 sorry, not 720, 25,710, 710 rupees can be claimed in the next year, next financial year if you win. This we learned from Sharma sir yesterday, right? Okay. Family pension received again. So family pension received, first let us write down what is the actual family pension received. Actual family pension received is 36,000. Okay. So here what happens? Can I write something here? No, it is nil. Okay. I can't write anything here because it's a loss. I can't write negative values here. I can set off only against winning from horse race. How many years I can carry forward? 4 years you can carry forward. This 25,714 rupees you can carry forward to 4 years. Within the 4 years you have to recover it. If you are unable to recover within the 4 years, then you cannot recover it at all in your lifetime. Okay. So 36,000 is the family pension received. Okay. There is something maximum deduction. Maximum is 15,000. Okay. So maximum amount is how much? Maximum amount is 15,000. Okay. Maximum amount 15,000 and 1/3 of family pension received. So what is the family pension received? Family pension received is 36,000. Sorry. Family pension received is 36,000. So into 1 divided by 3 will give me 12,000. Okay. So whichever is least, 12,000 or 15,000. 12,000 or 15,000, which is least? 12,000 is least, so 12,000 can be claimed. So what we can do, 36,000 minus 12,000, you will get 24,000. 24,000 shall be taxable. So now total sum. So 80,000 rupees shall be taxable under income from other sources. Any doubt, guys, here? Any doubt here? You're able to view properly now? Any doubt here? Yeah. Okay. Yogesh has a doubt. In respect of this set off and carry forward, I am going ahead with set off and carry forward. Let us say you are winning from horse race 2,14,285. You have a loss of maintaining this race horses, only race horses. Remember, loss on maintenance of race horse. Okay, 2,40,000. Now what happens? Your winnings can be adjusted against this expenditure on maintenance. You will maintain race horses, lot of expenditure you will incur. That can be, that can be adjusted. Okay, so you have adjusted this loss. You had a 2,40,000 expenditure and you have a gain of 2,14,000. You have deducted this. You got a loss of 25,714. This loss can be carried forward. That means you can carry forward this loss for next 4 years. In the next 4 years, you have to adjust this 25,714 only with winning from racehorse. Okay, if you win any horse race, you can deduct this 25,000 and the remaining shall be taxable. Okay, if not, you cannot. So you can carry forward this for next 4 years. Next year you claim it. That is, what is the next financial year? Now the financial year is 18-19. Okay, financial year is 18-19. So in the next financial year 19-20. 19-20 you can claim this if you win from race horse or horse race. Okay, so if you don't win, you can still carry forward to next 4 years, including, that is, this plus 3 years. Okay, so 1 plus 3 years. So 4 years you can carry forward. That means next 3 years. You have to claim this within next 3 years. If you are unable to claim this in next 3 years, you cannot claim it at all. Any doubt, guys? Clear? Yogesh? Still you have doubt? Yes or no? Chat, please. You answer in the chat box. Okay. I assume that you have understood. No. Still you have not got it. Okay. Got it or no? You got it? Okay. So once again to all, yeah. Once again to all, if you have, you own a race horse, your maintenance expenditure is 2,40,000. You won from the horse race 2,14,000. So this minus the expenditure, you get a loss. This loss can be carried forward to next 3 financial years. That is 4 years. They say, what is 4 years? Current year plus 3 years, 4 years. Within that you have to recover. If you are unable to recover, it will become a personal loss. Personal loss. Okay, same thing you can do in the next year. If you have winning, you can deduct. Last problem, we will finish it off. Last problem, we'll finish it off for today's class, and income from other sources. So Sri Meera furnishes the following particulars of income from previous year 1819. Compute income from other sources. Income from letting on hire of a building and machinery, composite lease is 70,000. So remember, we discussed, if it is not a tent house business, or if you are not hiring business, letting out business, then such assets, your own assets, you have a furniture, your friend will ask you, my parents are coming, please give me a furniture, I'll give you, because I'm staying in a PG, or I'm staying in an apartment where I basically come from Delhi and my parents are coming from Delhi. I don't have furniture. You give me a furniture, I'll give you a rent. You will give a furniture and he gives you rent for that furniture for 1 week or 10 days or something. It shall be taxable under other sources. Remember that transaction shall be taxable under other sources. So income from letting on a hire building or machinery, 17,000, so taxable. Interest on bank deposits, 2,500. Any bank deposit, whether it is a saving bank account or fixed deposit. If it is a fixed deposit, it is not more than 10,000. So there is no TDS. So as it is, we take it, taxable. Director sitting fees, taxable. Ground rent, 600. Ground rent means, any rent derived from a vacant land shall be taxable under other sources. Income from undisclosed source. So on a tax ride, the authorities found that there was an undisclosed source of income that shall be taxable. So 10,000 rupees. Income from lotteries, gross amount they have given directly. So we need not worry. It is taxable as it is. We need not to do any grossing up. Next, the following are the deductions claimed by Meera. Collection charges of dividend, you cannot claim. Why? Dividend is not at all there. What is the dividend here? Even if dividend was there, if it is a Indian company, dividend from an Indian company, exempted, so you can't claim it. It's not applicable. If it is foreign company, yes, you can claim the reduction. Okay. Allowable charges on building and machinery, 4,000. Yes, you can claim the reduction because you have given on a let out. Fire insurance on a building machinery, 100. Yes, you can claim reduction because it is subject to, you have let out, so the expenditure can be claimed. So let us solve this problem. Income from letting on a building, yes, you can claim it. How much is that? 17,000. Let me write for the time being 17,000. You can claim the expenditure. I have put it correct. I've taken it separately here, so you can take it separately, or you can deduct it directly, write the amount also. Okay, but you have to show the deductions. When you're deducting, you have to show the deduction. So that's why I've made a list of it at the end. Interest on bank deposits, no grossing up. Why? Because it is not more than 10,000. In case of savings bank account, no grossing up. Remember, if it is a savings bank account, no grossing up. So 2,500. Director sitting fees, yes, 1,200 as it is. I will take it. Okay. Ground rent, 600. It's taxable. We discussed. Okay. Income from undisclosed source, yes, that is also taxable under income from other sources. 10,000 rupees. Income from lottery, it's a gross amount. So I'll directly type the gross amount, 10,000, okay, as it is. So total would be some, okay, take it. You can use the calculator, Excel calculator. Okay. Yeah. So 41,300. Deduction, can you claim this? No, you can't claim this because if he has received a dividend, if it is an Indian company, you can't claim it. If it is a foreign company, you can claim it because they have not given the taxable dividend here. So we can't take this collection charges on dividend. Allowable charges on building and machinery. Yes, you can take 4,000 rupees here. Okay. Fire insurance on a building. Yes, you can take it because you are given on a 100 rupees. So now what happens is equal to 41,000 minus this minus this will give me 37,200. So taxable income from the sources would be 31,200. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt? Any doubt? Any doubt? So I unmute all of you now. You can talk to me. My syllabus is, I think so, it is finished. Yeah. Any doubt? Any doubt, guys? So let me